One of the other great games that was looming on the Week 13 schedule, there were like 5 games involving really good teams yesterday, the Eagles and the Titans. Well, the Titans didn't show up for this one. The Philadelphia Eagles, it was close early on, but the Eagles, this is the pick your poison offense. Green Bay Packers, we're going to run all over you. Tennessee Titans, we're going to throw all over you. And, we kind of knew that A.J. Brown would be looking to have a little bit of a day to stick it to the Titans for trading him when maybe they should have paid him. 2 touchdowns for A.J. Brown. And it just 119 yards. It felt like he had more than that. It felt like he had a bigger day than he did, maybe because he had that one long catch where the foot was out of bounds, and he came back on the next one and had this. How do you get that open?
Somebody falls.
Yeah, I mean, that's and now, okay, they called interference on the guy for being in. It was completely incidental. He ran into him, ran through him, and there he goes, wide open for the touchdown. It's just the Eagles have that vibe this year. We spent a lot of time talking about the other teams, but I always look for a team of destiny. I feel like the Eagles are that team this year, and there's been nothing other than the loss to the Commanders on a Monday night a few weeks back. There's been nothing about this year that shakes my faith that there's something special about the Eagles, that they're just 5 years after they won the Super Bowl with a completely different team. I know there are some constants, some guys still there who were there, but the key players, the quarterback, the receivers, there's so much different about this team. Coach is different, and they have that same vibe they did. Remember, it was into December because I feel like people believe or they remember that it was kind of an unlikely thing for the Eagles. It was only unlikely because Carson Wentz against the Rams, middle of December, suffered the torn ACL. So we took him off the board. It was the Jimmy Garoppolo conversation. It's over. It's done. The MVP candidate's gone, and Nick Foles comes in and takes it the rest of the way. This year, Jalen Hurts getting it done, everybody healthy, and it just feels like this is the team to beat, and every other team out there is going to have a hard time doing it. Especially when you see what they did to the Titans, who needed that game, coming off of a loss last week at home to Cincinnati, to get beat that badly, it just shows you how good the Eagles are.
Yeah, they absolutely dismantled the Titans. And it's funny. I mean, obviously, like you said, there are so many different pieces, but the formula is kind of the same in that the Eagles will just kick your ass up front. Right, we saw it last week when they're going up against the Green Bay Packers and they run for 1,005 yards on them and have the most rushing yards that they've had in a game since 1948. And then this week, they go and they dismantle the Titans through the passing game. And it's like, when you have that kind of adaptability where your offense can be so effective one way in 1 week and then so effective in another way the next week, I mean, look at what Jalen Hurts is doing right here, man. This is ridiculous. He has been so good. And this is the kind of game for me that puts Jalen Hurts back at the top of the MVP conversation, because it's not just one thing with him. You always know that they can win in whatever way they have to. And I love that about the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Mike, I mean, the fact that A.J. Brown basically lapped more than once what the Titans wide receivers could do offensively in that game, that tells you a lot about how good A.J. Brown is and how the Tennessee Titans really could have used somebody like A.J. Brown in that game consistently. I know Treylon Burks got hurt, but still, when you have somebody who's proven like that, it makes a huge difference.
Treylon Burks got rocked, and he made a hell of a catch and held on to the ball. And I don't know how we didn't have an ejection there, considering the ejection that we saw on Thursday night. I think it may just be, and we were talking about this in the studio watching the game yesterday, when you have a standalone game and it has the full focus of the league office, you're more likely to see an ejection in that spot than when it's one of 8 that were happening. But it was a great catch by Treylon Burks. Unfortunate that he couldn't continue. The other side of it, too, when Derrick Henry is bottled up, 11 carries for 30 yards. And one of the reasons, too, is you'll fall behind, and there goes the Derrick Henry equation. But still, you've got to be able to do something other than run the ball. Or you got to be able to do something other than run the ball. That's what I was trying to say. You got to have something else in your playbook on the days that Derrick Henry can't get it done. And we've seen for 2 weeks in a row now The Bengals were able to bottle up Derrick Henry, and they couldn't respond for the most part. And now the Eagles did the same thing. So you take away Derrick Henry, and the Titans don't have that counterpunch. Whereas with the Eagles, if you take away one thing they do, they can do the other thing. And then, okay, you're going to take away that thing, then we'll go back to the other thing. We're going to try, okay, then we'll do that. Pick your poison. It's up to you. We've got the offense that's good enough to do whatever you let us do. That's what it's about. The defense is going to let you do something. Necessarily, there's going to be a hole there. You just take advantage of it. Whatever they're giving you, you go take it.
Well, and then, I mean, you talk about bottling up Derrick Henry, but also the pass rush. I mean, they can get after you with 4. And that's what I mean by it's kind of the same formula that they had when they won in 2017. They could rush with 4 back then. They can rush with 4 now. And whenever you do that, it allows your defense to do a lot more things on the back end that can help out your guys up front. Right. So they always say, you know, the cliche rush and cover go hand in hand. I think the Eagles are a really, really good example of that, because if you can win at the point of attack with 4 guys, then like your coverage is going to be that much better.
The Eagles don't have the easiest of roads the rest of the way, but you know, they got the Giants twice still, and the Giants don't have the same overall feel that they had earlier in the year. The toughest game left is going to be the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. And I still don't see how the Eagles blow the 1 seed at this point, because they've essentially got a 2-game lead over the Vikings. The Vikings have to catch them and then go ahead of them, because the Vikings lose the head-to-head tiebreaker. You got 5 games left to make up 2 games. And this doesn't look like a team that's going to have many more stumbles like the one that we saw on the Monday night against Washington. And then the Eagles had a couple of other games where, you know, like the Colts game. The true sign of a great team to me is when you really think they should have lost a game and they still find a way to win the damn game. Like, they even when they have a bad day, they find a way to engineer a good result. And when they have a good day, forget about it. And that's what we saw yesterday. A really good day, a complete win, 35-10 over the Tennessee Titans. And I just, you know, hey, anything can happen, I know. But right now, to me, the Eagles are the clear favorite in the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. Who knows what will happen when who knows? Wouldn't Eagles-Chiefs be a hell of a Super Bowl? Andy Reid.
Oh, yes.
Going against Philadelphia. Yeah. Eagles-Bills. I mean, Eagles versus whoever the AFC produces is going to be a great Super Bowl if that's what it comes down to. And I feel like that's where it's heading. And but as I said, anything can happen. One of these other teams in the NFC can maybe get lucky. We've seen in the divisional round, the team that had the week off, they're a little flat-footed. You know, maybe it may. I'll believe it when I see it. For now, Eagles versus whoever from the AFC is my Super Bowl pick. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.